Hello and welcome to Highlights. My name is Jim Strawn, host of the television program Highlights from the Heart of Our Community. Is brought to you through a collaboration between Jim Strawn and Company, HD Media, and the Media Center. With our new special partner and sponsor, Bankers Life. There's no life like the Banker's Life. If you're a regular viewer of our show, and we certainly hope that you are, you know how much you love to focus on those grassroots organizations, sometimes people, sometimes not-for-profits, sometimes businesses, sometimes economic drivers. We're going to have a great conversation today. We're going to be talking about Advantage Valley, and they really encompass all those things when it comes to making our great state of West Virginia, our Canal Valley, from Huntington to Charleston, and all points in between, a much better place to live, learn, work, and to play. So sit back, relax, a lot of insight, a lot of great information coming your way as I have two very special guests with us today. We're going to be featuring the Advantage Valley. So as I turn to my right, I welcome into the Highlights program the Executive Director of Advantage Valley, my good friend Terrell Ellis. Terrell, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good to have you. And you brought along Tyler Brandstetter. Tyler Brandstetter, you're the Faster WV, the business launch specialist, a business coach with Advantage Valley. We're going to talk more with you and more about your role in just a moment. But I'll turn to Terrell and ask you, just Advantage Valley, give us a history, give us why you exist, what you guys are all about.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yes.
Advantage Valley is a nonprofit economic development organization, and we promote investment in the Huntington to Charleston corridor, basically those two metro areas. And we work in three areas. Number one, we do business attraction. So we're constantly looking both in the region and outside the region for companies that are willing to invest here and grow, second locations or expansions. We also work a lot with existing businesses in the region to help them grow, because actually one of the statistics we've become aware of is that 80 to 90% of new jobs come from existing business expansions. So we really put a high premium on working with our existing businesses to help them grow. And lastly, we work in the field of entrepreneurship. So we know that in order to have a diversified economy, you really need to have businesses starting here that can grow at the grassroots level. And so we're going to talk today, I think, about our entrepreneurship program, which is called Faster West Virginia.
Absolutely we are. Advantage Valley, is it the old adage, if you're stronger, your economies of scale, so from Huntington to Charleston, is that more attractive as a metro region as we're trying to attract national companies and corporations to relocate here or grow here?
Yeah, you're exactly right, because if I'm a company located in, wherever, Indiana, California, wherever it is, I might not be as keen if I'm looking at just one community as I am if I'm looking at a region that has a population of, say, over 500,000 people.
Is that about what the Advantage Valley
encompasses?
Yeah,
it is. It's got about 500,000 people, or
yeah.
a little bit more, actually. And the things that we can then promote would be 2 airports, 2 Class 1 rail systems, 4 navigable rivers, a really robust interstate highway system, colleges and universities, as opposed to being able to just talk about one thing in one of our communities. And the reality is that when a business goes to locate somewhere, they're not looking at that particular community's assets or labor force. They're generally looking at the assets and labor force that would be within, say, a 60-minute drive time of where they're located. So it's really important for us to be able to promote all of those things. And that's basically within our region, we're looking at any one location is about a 60-minute drive time from the far reaches of the region.
Do you particularly go after some potential new corporations and businesses, or do they call you, or do you see them and then go, hey, this could be an opportunity for you? How do you match up with what we're looking for here to bring growth to our community?
Well, in the area of our business attraction program, we have targeted industry sectors because we know that we have certain strengths in those industry sectors, such as metals fabrication. I mean, we've got companies like West Virginia Steel and Constellium and a number of others that are, really strong in that sector, and we have a trained workforce in that. And we also have companies that are strong in auto parts manufacturing, your Toyotas, your Sejefis, your NGKs. And chemicals and polymers. So we have very targeted sectors, and we actively and proactively go out and recruit businesses in those sectors.
Let's talk about Faster WV. I'm going to let you set the table, then I'm going to turn to Tyler and talk about his role. Faster WV, an acronym, a program. What do you call it with Advantage Valley? What is Faster WV?
Well, Faster is our entrepreneurship program.
Okay.
Faster stands for Fostering Advantages for the Startup and Research. Fostering Advantages for Startups and Entrepreneurial Resurgence in West Virginia.
Right, yeah. Pretty cool.
I know it's a little bit of a mouthful, but I think one of the things that we discovered early on when we were looking at developing this program is that West Virginia has a pretty low rate of business startups compared to other states in the country. And really, it is a sign of a robust economy when you have businesses starting in your local community. So we wanted to improve the startup rate and success of our businesses as they're starting. So we created Faster West Virginia with a number of partners in our region. The West Virginia Small Business Development Center is one of our partners, and Tyler is employed by them, but he's funded through our program.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Great.
And we have other partners, including Unlimited Future in Huntington. And we work also with one of our county economic development authorities in the state to run our loan fund.
Very good. Yeah, we have the program partners up on the screen now. And Tyler, I'm going to go ahead and turn to you now. I introduce you as a business launch specialist. You're basically, are you a business coach with Advantage Valley and the Faster WVE program? Talk about your role.
Yeah, that would be accurate. So I am the Faster Launch specialist specifically. So I work with new and emerging businesses as well as existing businesses to try and figure out what problems they have and how we may be able to solve them, how we can do that within our region through our programs that we have built right here in West Virginia.
They get a hold of you from the website, advantagevalley.com, or they can give you a call at 304-352-1165, or how are you matched up and married up to some of the clients that you work with?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of referrals come through the Advantage Valley website, the number that you've seen. Also, we have the West Virginia Small Business Development Center that has a referral system. You can go to www.wvbsbdc and sign up to become a client. In certain instances, that'll get sent my way as well. We also have the West Virginia Business Link. That's a really interesting opportunity here that is kind of a collection of all of these different resources throughout the state, and I play a major role with that particular one.
So Jim, so the way people kind of come into the system, we as Advantage Valley are doing marketing and outreach for the program.
Gotcha.
So as an example, the program, we've identified 6 sectors that we think have really good opportunities for business development in this region. And then we create workshops around those sectors, and we do webinars, and we get people to sign up. And if they're interested in pursuing an idea in one of those sectors or any other sector, then we have referral information on that webinar. We also we're doing outreach into the communities, working with the local economic development organizations. So there's a lot of different ways that people can enter into the system to access Tyler's business coaching resources.
Tyler and Terrell, I'll let both of you maybe answer, or one of you jump in there. Either I'm more in tune with it, or we're doing a better job in the state of West Virginia with helping people follow a dream, follow their vision, helping them with a business concept. Either we're doing a better job of getting them in, or I'm seeing it more. And so that's a fact, right? We're opening more small businesses and people are jumping in to the entrepreneurship sector, correct?
I think so. I think the state, in years past, not now, but in years past, I think the emphasis was always on, we're going to try to attract the next Toyota.
Right.
And that's, there's a time and a place for that. But really, places that have really, as I mentioned before, I'm repeating myself, places that have healthy economies have small businesses starting up locally, and those businesses grow and create jobs. That's where you're going to get most of your
We
jobs
have those
from.
flagship big companies,
Yeah.
but then the backbone of business is small business and smaller companies and entrepreneurs. What are some of the hurdles or some of the questions? What are some of the things that people, if they're watching this, like, I have an idea, but what do you hear they need from you? What do you coach them on?
Oh, absolutely. So everyone needs a business plan. It's one of the big things that I hear all the time. Social media management, learning how to run and operate social media, getting e-commerce stores set up so that people can sell online. with COVID, we've really seen a big uptick in that particular area because for a long time people weren't able to go out and about. But yeah, just all aspects of business have really become more involved with coaching aspects.
And also, I think one of the things you'll find with most small business startups, especially those that have never operated a business before, is access to capital is always a critical barrier that they're trying to face. So most banks are a little hesitant to loan to startups, and there's a few reasons. Number one, maybe they don't have the management experience, or maybe number two, they don't have enough equity or collateral in the deal and the bank doesn't want to loan. So Faster West Virginia has its own dedicated loan fund for our clients. And when I mentioned one of our county partners, county level partners in the state who helps us operate our loan fund, that's a critical role that they play. So our clients have to be working with a Faster coach, Tyler. They have to have a business plan, and Tyler helps them get that done. And we have a lot of other entrepreneurial training resources that we're developing to offer to people. They can apply them for a loan out of our loan fund.
And Tyler's one of your business coaches. You have others, I'm assuming,
We do.
right? Okay.
In the Huntington, Cabell, and Wayne County areas, we have a business coaching support system through Unlimited Future, which is one of our partners.
Right.
And they're a small nonprofit that specializes in working with people who are developing micro businesses.
Having an insightful conversation with Terrell Ellis. Terrell is the Executive Director of Advantage Valley. We're also talking with Tyler Brandstetter. Tyler is one of the business coaches with Advantage Valley, business launch specialist, if you will. We're going to continue this conversation. I have just a few more questions for these two. We're going to take a short break and learn more about our collaborating partners and our sponsor, and then I'll be right back after this short break. And we'd like to take this opportunity to thank our supporters of the television program. Highlights from the Heart of Our Community is brought to you through a collaboration between Jim Strawn and Company, the Media Center, and HD Media. And our newest sponsor, special thanks to Banker's Life. There's no life like the Banker's Life. For over 140 years, Banker's Life has provided financial security to their clients and policyholders. During that same time, Banker's Life has helped change the lives of many of their associates personally, professionally, and financially. Questions? Do you have questions regarding Medicare and Social Security? Give them a call, 304-757-4134. Or if you're interested in a free review with a licensed agent or looking for a new career in the financial industry, contact Dennis Harmonson. Dennis.Harmonson, Harmison, at bankerslife.com. There's no life like the Banker's Life. And we are back. We're having a great conversation regarding Advantage Valley with Terrell and Tyler. Terrell, I'm going to come to you. Kind of the proof is in the pudding. You guys have been around. You're doing great work. You've got a lot of business coaches. You're helping small businesses. You're doing entrepreneur. You're doing classes. You're doing training. You got some great partners. Who are some of the folks that you've helped? Who are some of your successes?
Well, I love to talk about a good success story.
I know, right? And you have lots of them, actually.
Yeah, so actually, we've been around for about 2.5 years.
Okay.
We've helped facilitate the creation of 50 businesses.
Wow.
Yeah, and some of these are
Wow.
very small businesses.
Yeah, it doesn't
a lot of
matter.
them. Some of them are a little bit larger, but we're kind of proud of that track record. Yeah. And some of the businesses that we really like to talk about, as an example, Clendenin Brewery.
I saw you at the ribbon cutting of the brewery a few weeks back.
Up in Clendenin, West Virginia, in the northern part of Kanawha County. And it's a great story. Matt and Nikki Holbert, who are entrepreneurs. Clendenin is located at the southern terminus of the new Elk River Rail Trail. That's the newest state park. And they saw a great opportunity to serve tourists that are going to be coming in. So they started up a brewery and went through our training program. They took a class. They worked with our business coach, and we made a loan to them. And that was a really good instance where, their bank was willing to work with them to some degree, but there was a gap in their financing, and we were able to fill that
Terrell,
gap
not
for
only
them.
did they see an opportunity, but they're part of the uprise from the 2016 flood
Absolutely.
that devastated that community. And I
Yeah.
know about that community. I'm a Herbert Hoover grad, and I know these folks. So not only are they saw an opportunity, but they're giving a shot in the arm to that community that hasn't had it for 6 years.
Exactly.
So congratulations
There's a lot of
to
good
you.
stuff going on there.
Great.
We also have worked with people. A disabled veteran who's in Clay County, Sugar Bottom
Farms? The
Farms.
Sugar, yeah.
They're a honey producer,
Wow.
and he's got a great business, and we helped, again, he went through our classes, he worked with our business coach, and he got a loan from us to buy equipment and expand his facilities, and hired 5 more people, and he's going great guns.
Did you help a lavender farmer as well?
We did. We worked with Appalachian Botanicals,
Nice.
and they were a company that had just started, actually a couple of years before we started the FASTER program, or maybe a year before. But they were really a fledgling company, and we helped them with their business planning. Now, they did not get a loan from us, and that's, I guess, the point that I want to make is not everybody has to come to us and go through, and get a loan. We can just provide business planning assistance
I'm sure in
or training.
The assessment process
Yeah.
is a conversation. What do you need? How you doing good? What are you doing
Right.
good? What are your weaknesses? How can we fill in the gaps?
Right.
They don't need everything that you offer.
That's right, and
Okay.
so they can pick and choose from the menu of services and get assistance with that.
Just a few more. A restaurant in Cabell County.
Savannah's, that's a long-standing restaurant
Been
there.
around,
There
yeah.
was a new owner that took that over, and our coaching assistance program under Unlimited Future in Huntington help the new owner with her business plan. Again, she did not get a loan from us, but helped them with all of the planning that they needed to do to operate a successful restaurant.
And then I've seen them out and about. We Be Frying.
We Be Frying
Here in
again.
Kanawha- in Kanawha
Yes,
County.
in Kanawha County. And that's really a great story of a lady who took the training course and again kind of bootstrapped her way as far as financially, and her business is just growing like crazy. So she's doing a lot. I see her in the capital market. She's selling stuff there.
Tyler,
Yeah.
it must be pretty rewarding for you to see people come to you with a concept, an idea, kind of raw, not real educated, but have a great idea and a great vision, and then you bring them along.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the greatest feelings in the world whenever you can just help someone that extra little inch that they needed to get into business or to grow or any of those things.
Do you want to talk about it? Is there a business link that you guys offer, or somebody can go to the business link, and what does that link
Yeah.
provide for them?
Sure thing. So the West Virginia Business Link is a collaborative effort across West Virginia between all of these different resource providers. A couple years ago, we decided that we need to start working together rather than against each other with our programming. So we created this site. There are about 157 different resource providers throughout the state that are within that link, www.wvbusinesslink.com.
Say that again.
www.wvbusinesslink.com.
Okay, great.
And through there, you can request coaching through all of these different resources, read blogs from entrepreneurs and resource providers, and also learn about events that are happening all across the state.
Speaking of events, and Cheryl, you kind of briefly touched on it earlier, you folks offer webinars. You also offer classes. I know there's a little difference between a webinar is probably a 45-minute. You stop by and you get some education. I popped on a couple of those faster WV webinars. But you also have classes. They're a little more extensive. They require maybe a little more time, 6-8 weeks. You have something coming up, I believe, beginning on August the 30th.
That's right. Through Unlimited Future,
Okay.
they are offering our class called Planning for Profit. It is an 8-week course. Now, it's not every day for 8
Okay,
weeks.
right.
It's one evening a week. And for 8 weeks, it's on via Zoom, so you
Okay.
don't have to show up in person.
Okay.
The classes last 2 or 3 hours, and this is for the person who's really, really serious. I mean, and maybe they have a knowledge of how to bake, but they don't have any knowledge of how to operate a business. So this takes them through all the phases of what you're going to need to understand about operating a business. And what happens when you come out of that class then is you then move directly into working with the business coach, who will then take the information, help you take the information you learned and transfer that into your business plan. So it's a more intensive training process, and it's really for people who are very serious, and we don't want people to just kind of come in and out of those classes. We want them to be committed to take the whole 8-week course.
Very good. Once again, just to remind folks, we're having a wonderful conversation, very insightful. I promised that at the top of the show. Terrell Ellis is our Executive Director with Advantage Valley. Tyler Brandstetter, business coach with Advantage Valley, really a business launch specialist as well. The telephone number to call, if you have any questions, you're watching this and go, hey, I have an idea. Hey, I need this help. Hey, call them, 304-352-1165, 352-1165, or just go to AdvantageValley.com, AdvantageValley.com. Tyler, have I asked you everything that you need the audience to know about what you do? Is there something, a parting shot from you that you'd like the audience to know?
Yeah, I mean, West Virginia is full of a lot of great entrepreneurs. A lot of them are already out there doing the work that they do best, really succeeding at it, but maybe they're struggling with some aspects of business, That's something that I see a lot of. And if you are having a difficult time with that business side, maybe it's marketing, maybe it's social media, whatever it is, please do reach out. There are so many resources across our state, including especially us, that are willing to help and are able to do so.
Very good. Terrell, as I mentioned to Tyler, it must be rewarding. 50, I didn't know the number. I mean, that's really helping a lot of lives. You're helping a lot of lives. You're changing a lot of lives. You're providing hope and dreams and optimism for people who, I don't know where to turn to. Is there a parting shot from you that you'd like people to know about Advantage Valley Yeoman's work? And we're not done yet, right?
No, there's a lot of work to do, but all I would say is I think this is a really exciting time for West Virginia. So when we talk about our entrepreneurship program, we see so many opportunities not only in our region but across the state for people to fill gaps, to start businesses and for goods and services that aren't here, but also to serve external markets as well. So I encourage people to, entrepreneurship is not for everybody. So I guess I want to make that clear. It's tough and it's not for everybody, but it is truly very rewarding. I encourage people to kind of maybe check it out initially and see what it takes, because we have a lot of people that are just starting out by doing something on the side. That's something to think about. Right. If you're not sure that you want to just, quit your day job and jump into
dip your toe
in, you can do it on the side and kind of grow your knowledge and grow resources and then make that decision. So we're here to help you at any phase of the exploration that you're in.
Terrell, that is great insight. We're going to leave it right there. Tyler, thank you very much for your time today and your insight and all the information that you provided. To get to Faster WV or Faster WV website, we do have a QR code. I'm going to put that QR code up on the screen now. We're going to leave that up just for a few seconds. If you just put your phone up to that while that's up on the screen, that'll take you right to Faster WV. And you can learn all about the programs that Tyler and Terrell have been talking about today. Terrell, once again, thank you. Tyler, thank you. We thank you for tuning in. That is all the time we have on this edition of Highlights, as always brought to you through a collaboration between Jim Strawn and Company, the Media Center, and HD Media, and along our newest sponsor. We appreciate Banker's Life. There's no life like the Banker's Life. We'll see you somewhere between Huntington and Charleston in Advantage Valley, and we'll see you next time right here on Highlights. Take care now.